Hey, hello everyone, welcome back to our second video on the Android SQLite database sequence. So this time we're going to talk about how to read and write a text file. So let's create a new project. I'll call it my I don't know what the heck to call it anymore. Let's see here, my write file, my text. I'll call it my text file and hit next. Empty activity, finish. Alright, let that thing compile there a little bit. And while it's compiling, I'll get started here. Perfect. Go into the main activity, increase the size a little bit. Move that down, perfect. Alright, gonna get rid of hello world. I'm gonna use a multi-line text. Where is it at? Alright, so multi-line, and I'm going to grab multi-line and we're going to add it down here, and I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger for our purposes. So I'm just dragging it up and around here. Oops, drag it down here. Perfect. So we need to give it a value. I'm just going to call it edit text ID. Keep it simple. I'm going to create a button, so I'm going to drag the button down here, and I'm going to call that, I'll call it save button, so btn save ID, and we need to give it text, so I'm gonna get rid of that, add new resource. I might be going quick because we've already did this before. Save button, yeah, that's fine, and I'll call it save. Okay, I'm going to come down here and increase my font size like I did before. I'm going to go with a bold. I can go with a text color if I want to. I like pink. That's there. So let's go with it. Pink was last month, but what the heck? Let's give it more good stuff. Let's get and build this onto this, which I should have did with the text. I didn't do it yet. So we're just building our constraints here. Perfect. This should be built on. I didn't do it. Should have. I'm just building my constraints so my stuff don't go whack out, and I'll hook it up to that. There we go. Alright, so let's move this up a little bit. Alright, that looks cool. You could also change that background if you want to. You could make the background something different. Instead of that, you could even change your text to be something different, but I'm not worried about it right now, so I'm going to start going in here and doing some coding. So we need to do a couple things. We need to write a declare a variable for our button and a variable for our text. So first thing I'm going to do is, if I was in class, I'd ask you guys what I'm going to do, but since we're not, we'll just do it. So let's do this. I did it last time. Control up. There we go. Alright, so increase the size here. Alright, so let's have private button, call it save button, and then we'll have private edit, I can't even spell right, private edit text, and I'll call it enter message again. And we're going to need these guys here barking at me, so let's just add them in there real quick. Import, move my mic over. I want to get a new mic. Android, another one. I don't like this one anymore. Widget dot button. It broke. I got a new one, but now I want to get another one, a different one. Dot widget dot edit text. Perfect. So now we have those guys declared. We have our values up here. So now we need to go down here and create our. We're just going to do the same thing that we did the last video. Could probably just grab stuff from there. Equals button, sorry, and then we're going to do find view by ID. We're going to send a resource.id button. What did we call it? A button save ID. Maybe not the best name, but that's what we called it. The other thing is enter message equals edit text, and we're going to do find by view ID, our resource that we're grabbing from the screen. Edit text ID, perfect. We're just rocking and rolling at this point. That's what I like to hear. All right, so now we need to use our save button because we need to create an action listener. So set on action listener, new view on click listener. Already did automatically did our override on it, so that's good. All right, perfect. So we're making some sense real quick. I did that kind of quick, but these are things we've already accomplished. All right, so let's see. We have this right here. Now we're gonna need a class for writing our file. So this would be our write file class. So we'll say private void write to file. We'll pass in a string value, call it message since we're just going with that. And let's see here, we'll do a squiggly. All right, why is that acting crazy there? Private void write to file string message, not liking it. All right, I see why. Let's cut this out. I put it in the wrong spot because we're putting it right in here. We're putting in this protected void. It doesn't know what we're talking about. So let's take it out of that and put it down here. Now it looks a little bit better. No wonder I didn't know what was going on. All right, so let's tab in here. Let's use something called output stream writer. So it uses a Java input output. So we'll call it, oops, output stream writer equals. If I can put equals in. Oh, let's see here. So it'll be same object. So output stream writer, and then we'll pass in open file output. Not a problem. So we're gonna need a string name there. Need to give it a file. So let's call our file. What can we call it? All right, we'll call it grocery list. Everybody has a grocery list. Dot. This will be different. So I'm using a Mac. TXT file is a file that you use on Notepad. So I think this will work fine on a Mac as well. I should be able to put TXT file. It should be fine. If not, we'll modify around. No big deal. All right. So now we need to put it in a mode that was. So we want to make it the content private in this case. So we'll do context dot mode, and we picked these modes that, oops, not mode. Oh crap. Remember, my D makes everything, Shift and D makes everything downsized. I gotta take that off, I really do. So what I need to do is put my caps lock on, allow me to do what I want to do. So I'll do mode underscore private. I gotta remember to fix that. Actually, I'm thinking about it. Shift and up to make it bigger again. Now, there's a problem going on here where it's this, but it's saying to expect this, and we could do this right here, but it's not going to work because now we have this guy right here barking at us. It can't resolve it, which is fine. We need to put an exception in there. So I hit enter. I'm going to right click and do generate. Where is it at? And there should be a, where is it at? There should be a catch there. I thought there was a catch. Let me see here. Here is, it should have it here, and I looked at it. The button came over here, but it didn't have what we wanted it to be. It's right here. This is what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to have something that says surround reference, or catch, but it's not there, so I'm gonna have to write it. So let's go down here and hit enter, and which is not a bad thing. So I'm gonna type in try underscore try. I meant lowercase, and then I'm gonna do space and that guy right there, and then we're gonna do, let's see here, context mode, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and put this semicolon on it, and then I'm gonna do shift and hit a. So what we're doing, we're saying, hey, let's try this right here, and if this doesn't work, then we're gonna catch it, and in our catch we're gonna say file not found exception. So this is just normal stuff you did in Java before. E for exception. Then I'm going to do another bracket right here, and then we print something. So I'll do like e.print stack trace so that we could capture our stack trace. So all we're doing here is, I still don't like this open output file. Still acting, okay, so I think I know what's going on here. This is open file output. I think it's lowercase. I think I might have problem. Maybe not. Let's see here. Something's a little edgy here. Open file output. So let me just do this. Alright, so something's a little itchy here, or something's wrong. Alright, so we have output stream writer equals output stream writer, which is fine. Open file output. In parentheses, we have the text file, and then we have context.modePrivate, and we have that closed off, but it doesn't like it. Method call expected. What did I do? Alright, so I right clicked on that and hit insert new. So I must have been missing a space there, but now it looks fine. It picked it up. So just do what I did, right click on it, hit new. It just added a space that was missing, so that's good. So we have that written, so that's perfect. Good. So what else can we have? Alright, so let's do this. Let's go down here. Let's type in, we need to write our message, so we'll say output stream writer dot write, and then we'll say message. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Noise just got really crazy. You guys hear that? That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I hate these people. Alright, let's see here. Dot write, and then message. Why is it being weird? Message, and that right there. Alright, so something's funky here. Okay, so it needs us to add another catch clause. So hit this right here, and what it does is it adds an input output exception error in case that's a problem. Oh man, this is crazy out there. Alright, so now we need to close it. So I'll put output stream writer dot close, and you always want to close your stream, and the reason being is if not, you will run out of memory. Simple. Oh geez. Perfect. Alright, you'll run out of memory, so we don't want to do that. Alright, so now we have this, so let's move this in here. So now we need to create another class. This class right here will be for our reading. So we'll call it private string read from file. So now we need to be able to read from the file. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a return here. For now, just return all in case anything goes bad. We're looking good. Alright, so I'm going to increase that again. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to try to knock this out before they get too loud out there. They're just getting crazy loud for me. That's too much for me. Alright, so read file. So now what we need to do is come over here and we'll do string result. So we'll just make it blank for now. And then we'll do an input stream. We need to have an input for our input file. We'll call it input stream equals open file input. And what we want to do is put our file that we called in there. I think we called it grocery list, so I'll call it grocery list.txt and end it. Something's barking at me here because it needs, what's it say? Alright, input stream, where you at, buddy? Java.io. Okay. Is that what it is? I'm trying to remember what the put stream. I think that's it right there. All right, so that still didn't like it though. Because it needs an exception. All right. What is it? Acting crazy. Open file input to do that. Exception java.io.file not found exception. All right, let's see here. File not found exception. That's already there. So it must want an exception or something. Let's see what is going on here. Try this again. Open file. I think I'm going crazy with these people. Yep, there we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And then add exception method. And oh, okay, so it just what it did here is that we could add it just threw an exception up here instead of down here. So here's the difference. We have a try catch here, but now we read from the file and it'll throw an exception right here off the bat if there's a problem. Perfect. All right, so now I'll do if input stream doesn't equals null. So if it doesn't equal null, then we have to do something with it. Okay, so we'll say input stream reader, and we call it input stream reader equals new input stream reader. And this thing is just the same as any other language. If you do C#, it looks exactly the same. They just call it something different. So now we'll put a buffer reader on there. So buffer reader, and we'll call it buffer reader. How common equals new buffer reader, and we'll just pass an input stream reader on there. And now we need a temporary string. We'll call it temp string equals nothing, just in case. And then we'll use a string builder. String builder, not buffer, allows us to use a string and keep building onto it. So if you're writing, say for example, you're writing some, say you don't know SQL structured query language, and you wrote a program to copy all the things that you wanted to do, you can use string builder to just keep building onto that string, and then you could execute it. And this is what we're kind of going to do here. So let's do this. There we go. Oh, too many of these guys here. Perfect. And let's see here. So now we need to throw a while loop in there, and we'll say while temp string equals buffered reader. So while equals that. What we want to do is say while equals something. We just want it to keep looping around, so we could keep grabbing values from it, if that makes sense. We want to get all the values from it. So we're saying while, let me think about this. So while the temp string, which is right here, and so we do the string builder equals new string builder, and then we say while this temp string equals buffer reader dot reline. So we have, let's see if I got too many of these here. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then we can say no, if it doesn't equal null, if I can spell, we'll do a round, and then we'll do this, and now we could keep adding our string builder. So we can say string builder dot append just adds onto it, and then we do temp string. So all we're doing here is we're saying, hey, if it's not equal to null and there's another value. So for example, if you had let me do text edit. So let's say that we had Steelers, Browns, Patriots. So what would happen is it would read this line and say, oh, is that line null? Yes or no? Oh, it's not null. Great, so it's going to read that. If this line, no, and then it gets down to this line, there's nothing there, guess what? Then it would end. So that's how that works. All right, so let's see here. So we have that. Now we need to close our stream like we did upstairs. Close it. And we need to take our result and say result equals string builder dot not string buffer. String builder to string. Oh my gosh, something's missing here. What is going on? string builder dot to string. There we go. And dot close and dot IO exception again. I have that in there, so what am I missing? Java.io exception, that's there. So it's barking about something, it needs an exception, it looks like somewhere. Alright, let's see. What's me looking for? I don't have an exception in there. I'm looking for a suggestion, but it's not giving it to me. You know what? Let's try this. Let's change this around and call it IO exception instead. Because it's asking for IO exception. Oh, check that out. I think that might be it. There it is. We have this and hit save, but I don't think we wrote something for that yet. Yeah, so we forgot to write something, so it wouldn't work exactly. Alright, no, go over there. Alright, so what we need to do is say string message equals enter message dot get text. So what is the text that is providing us? To string, and then write to file. So what we're going to do is we're going to call that write to file, and it's asking me for something. No. We already have a write to file. Because we created a write to file right here. Oh, you know what? I had write to file, and it's called write to file. So you just make sure that the method is right. I think we're good. I really do. Listen, I keep thinking of something else that we could add here. So we have on click. So here's what happens when they input it. It writes the file. But let's say the message is blank. Then that's going to cause a problem, right? So what we could do is we could come up here and do a conditional statement. Yeah. We'll do if entered message dot get text. So the text that it gets it from it to string dot equals, and we'll say if it equals blank blank. Do that right there and do this, and then we could say, oh, let's go ahead and copy this right here. So I'm gonna cut it out, put it in here. So we're saying if the enter text is blank blank, let's get an input something. So if we actually have something in there. So let's see here. So we have this. So let's do else, and we'll say do something else here. So we'll have to do something else there. If that makes sense. All right. Let's see. This is a big one here. Else. Do nothing right now. So let's close this up here. So that's good. So let's come down here and say try and say if read from file doesn't equal null. Whoops, doesn't equal null. So we got a barking thing going on here. Which is fine, we'll figure it out. So then we'll do a catch, and we'll do an IO exception. So we'll catch the exception, and we'll close it off here and do e.print the stack trace. There we go. I think we're almost done. I think this is it. Let me look. So I forgot we have to put something here. We have if it reads from the file, then what happens? So we have to do enter message. We have to set the text. Read from file. Yeah, so let's look around here. My code's not working, so I know what I did here. I put message, but I never passed a string on it. So we have to do string message right here. Jeez. I'm sitting there thinking, what am I doing wrong? Alright, well, What is going on here? Write to file. So what is going on here? What am I missing? Write to file. I need to pass something here, I think. I'm missing something. So I need to put message here too. Alright, so there's the code. This is actually a lot of code. I haven't wrote this much code in a while. And then I gotta get out of here to go to dinner. Text file. Alright, so I am going to dinner to celebrate my 21st birthday. That's how old I am. These people are driving me nuts because they keep drilling. And we hear the drill going. Alright, save it. Leave it. Not my shared storage. What's it called? My text file. Where'd it go? Right here. Oh, and then it writes to my text file. So I just have to find a grocery list. So, grocery list text. I gotta find it. Or did it write it over here? See, this is the thing. I'm using a Mac, so it might have been differently. I think I did it wrong. So let's do this. Oops. So I did that. Saved it. Go back. I should have read it when I went into it. Something's wrong, so I'll have to come back to this and continue this video. We're going to stop right now, but something's wrong on my end, but it should work. We'll just have to play around with it a little bit more. Again, write the code and see what you can get, and get back to me and let me know what you figured out. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.